Hey Super Souls, welcome back to the Moon Magic Tarot channel. Our cards are really lively today. This is your weekly guidance from Spirit. I post these readings every single Sunday and we are asking your Spirit team, what do you need to know right here, right now? What do they need to let you know about, talk to you about, speak to you about? And what do they wish to give you the heads up around for the next 7 days? What's taking place in your world right now? So we will draw 3 cards to guide you in. See this one here is really speaking to me. Okay. We'll draw a rune as well and a charm. Okay, so reading 1, you have the card of prayer. Just show that to you. Reading 2, you have sea creatures. And reading 3, you have offerings. Okay. Now let's draw charms and runes for those of you that like that extra guidance. Okay, so reading 1, prayer, breakthrough. You have the rune of breakthrough and you have this beautiful heart. It doesn't really matter which way this is. It's really spinning, this little rune. Look, it's very full of energy today, very full of energy. Okay, and it doesn't matter which way up this rune is. There's no reverse to it. Okay, sea creatures. You have these 2 beautiful swans. This is the heart shape that, of course, 2 swans make naturally in the wild. You also have the rune of fertility. And the rune of offerings, the card of offerings, you have the rune of gateway. It's really interesting. That did actually kind of come out in reverse. I don't tend to read cards or runes in reverse, but I'm actually going to put this in reverse today and I will tell you about it for those of you when we get to reading number 3 who are drawn to that. We also have a little girl here. Very lovely energy. Okay, so Super Souls, I'll leave the video running for just a moment or 2 longer for anyone that wants a little bit more time. And if you need even longer, just press the pause button. And if you're drawn to more than one reading, do check them out. Sometimes more than one of the readings will kind of connect in with a different aspect of your world, one aspect of your world or another. Super Souls, tons of love and I'll see you in the readings. Reading number 1, welcome. You have been guided into this reading by the card of prayer, which is also the card of hope. We have the rune of breakthrough and we have this beautiful heart. Now it's very interesting because what's really coming through already in your reading is this heart energy. You know, this particular card of prayer, you see the spiral in this figure and then this person's higher self. This card of prayer really carries a very strong message about the fact that we are a conduit of energy. It speaks about prayer as being something that we live, that we are through the very essence of our intent, our thoughts, our words, the way we conduct ourselves. Do we tread lightly as we walk through the world? And that in being a conduit, we generate and manifest the things we wish to see, as opposed to seeing a prayer as something that you put out into the universe. It's like you become the living embodiment. You are the universe. You are the prayer. So this feels like a very powerful reading, actually, reading number 1. And the rune of breakthrough is a significant turning point. Now, I'm not going to say any more just yet. Let's draw cards and runes and see what your spirit team wants you to know about right here, right now, what's happening. And also, you know, how is your week progressing, and is there anything they'd like to share with you about the coming 7 days? I'm seeing this card here as well. So we're drawing oracle cards first. And then we will draw from a couple of tarot packs. Okay. You have the Anima Mundi. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. I think it's Anima Mundi, actually. Okay. Right, super souls, this is very powerful already. Look at it, it's dynamic. That's the word I'm looking for. Dynamic. Your reading feels really dynamic already. You have the cards of forgiveness of others and persevere. And you have, the Snow Shepherdess and Fearless. These feel like really, really exciting cards, actually, reading number 1. This is a reading, or so I am seeing it right now, and we will draw tarot cards as well. But this is a reading of empowerment. This is about empowerment from the inside out. Okay, that's what's really, really coming through. Do you know what? I'm just going to throw the astrology dice for you as well. This one is just off the charts, I think, of the camera, but let me bring it in. You have Mercury. You have Mercury in Virgo. Right, okay. Mercury is all about communication. Excuse me. And thank you so much for all of you that are following my readings ongoing, for your love and your care and support of my voice and my throat and following COVID. And thank you for the remedies and the suggestions. I am following through with them, and truly I hope you can really hear the difference. My voice is massively improving, so thank you all. For those of you, if you're new to my channel and you haven't watched any of the other readings, you probably won't be up to speed on this, but you know, just thank you all anyway. I had COVID and my voice has struggled a bit following that. And gosh, what an amazing community of people you are. It's such an honor to read for you. So Mercury, communication, Virgo. I feel like, super souls, you're the kind of person who might just pick yourself to pieces from time to time, and you're the kind of person that possibly in your thinking patterns, because you're trying to uphold really good values and really walk that pathway. I mean, I'm really seeing you walking the pathway of the good red road. What's happening is, I think sometimes in your own manifestations, I think you're quite strongly affected by things that aren't okay in the world, and rightly so. I mean, we wouldn't be decent human beings if we didn't care. I mean, if you watch something that's awful, or you walk past something in the street that isn't okay and it doesn't affect you, then you know you're not a whole human being. You're not an integrated human being. For sure there will be problems that cause that at the root of things, but the point is that you're not fully available. You're not immersed in life. Okay, now Mercury in Virgo, this means that you can, it's like the energy of communication and of you taking charge of that communication is actually around you right now, and your kind of spirit team are really saying to you, look, there's stuff that you're aware of in the world that's had an impact on you, and actually it's really important that this is not still residing in your mind. Okay, you know how just sometimes stuff just like pops up and you think, man, I thought I'd left that behind years and years ago. I thought I had laid that to rest. I thought I'd put it down. And here it is again, you know, that old chestnut, you know, but why is my mind going over and over? If it's popping up, it just means somewhere in your system there's a residue of something, and it's usually something that you couldn't find a resolution to. You were powerless, you weren't able to fix it, and so it pops up because there's still a residue of it. This reading is asking you to really persevere with navigating that kind of stuff. So if stuff pops up in your mind, shift the energy of it, literally. Shift the energy and get into your heart center. Shift the energy. You have an absolute, the timing is really perfect for you at the moment to do exactly this. So Super Souls, please excuse my pause there. I just had a little sip of water. This is a really significant turning point. We have the breakthrough rune. Mercury in Virgo, Anima Mundi, or Mundi, however one pronounces it, we pronounce it. This is a turning point for you. This is like, it's like those magical moments in the universe when you can see or connect to the greater universal consciousness. You can stand back and recognize that everyone is on their own journey, and even if people have behaved badly or inappropriately, you no longer have to be tied into any aspect of their stuff, okay? It's like, so this card is really clear. It says, forgiveness does not mean that something bad that happened to us was okay. So let's just get really clear on this. If something happened, it wasn't okay. But forgiveness means that we choose to move beyond the experience and to release any ongoing need for retribution. Now, the reason we kind of want to do this, it's like we're handing over, we're giving ourselves to spirit, to walking our pathway in our wholeness. This is about you walking your pathway in your wholeness, you literally in being an embodiment of light. And if we hold on to retribution, like we want retribution and revenge, rather than kind of like handing it to spirit, knowing that the greater good will take care of that, somewhere down the road, that person's going to live, you know, with the consequences of their actions. You know, we know in the law of attraction that, you know, I mean, there's a lot of stuff we could talk about around that. But ultimately, if somebody is putting a lot of negativity and difficulty into the world, at some point it's going to come back to them, okay? You know, and their inner world, their inner soul will be in turmoil in some way, shape or form. We just need to stand away from that and not still attach ourselves personally to it, because you know, when you let go of that need for personal retribution, rather than giving it to spirit and knowing it will be taken care of, it's having a really big element of trust in spirit and in this pathway. In doing so, we no longer need to keep the memory of what happened alive within us. Now, this choice reinstates your entitlement to be in charge of your own life. And this is a massive shift. It's a shift in consciousness. If that stuff is popping up, it's also a shift in your personal energy. And it's kind of fab because it allows you to launch yourself into a position of shift and change that transforms your own world. You know, I think for some of you as well, maybe there were things that did actually take place in your world. It kind of actually, I sort of almost want to say, I do feel that maybe there were things that left you feeling quite fearful. You may be fearful of people, fearful of the world in general, you know, because actually maybe some of you were actually targeted or bullied. You know, you've ended up with a massive inner critic, where you constantly, and this is another really interesting residue of sometimes being targeted and bullied. It can come at any stage in life, actually, either something that came from childhood or later, but if you're targeted, very often, in order to try and fix it, we go internally and we think, right, well, I must have done something wrong to deserve this. You know, and actually you didn't do anything wrong. This other people, they're on their journey. It's not your problem. It's not your fault. You didn't attract it. That's what I want to say. That was the other half of the law of attraction that I wanted to just voice. Sometimes, you know, our actions will bring in more of the same, and that's for sure. So step into the light, hold that pathway of everything that you desire for yourself. This is an opportunity for you to literally understand and be something of the universal. It's like you become the universe, you become the energy of the universe. And my goodness me, I think your manifestations are going to spiral into reality quite quickly. We'll see when we draw your tarot cards too for this week what we're shown. But we see these spirals or circles going on. It's circles within circles, layer upon layer. The law of attraction, sometimes beautiful souls, light attracts darkness. People are drawn to you like a moth to a flame. If you are joyous and you have that spark of life about you, sometimes people will be drawn to you and they will act out around you, because in many ways they haven't got there on their pathway yet, and they are drawn to you because of it. So I really just want to voice this really strongly. Sometimes, you know, we can go internally, and I think some of you maybe do that, and you start to think, it must be me, what did I do wrong? Those kinds of thinking patterns emerging, and that's not really what this reading is saying at all. It's actually saying, look, you didn't do anything wrong. People have been attracted to you who were negative because of what you could give to them. So and actually in your responsiveness and inviting them sometimes into your world, or sometimes having no choice if it was the world you grew up in, ultimately it's part of your soul growth in some way, shape or form to understand how to shift yourself away from this kind of stuff and choose to wholeheartedly be the pathway you want. But also, you know, your goodness, you know, responded to those situations. But I need to say, there's something about really shifting any of that inner turmoil, and every time something pops up, really allowing yourself to let go of that residue, because when we release it, any residue, when you release it in your mind, you're also releasing it from your body. And you know, we know science research has shown that, you know, the body keeps the score. It's an amazing book. If you're new to my readings, I was a psychotherapist for 28 years, an accredited counsellor. So there's an amazing book called The Body Keeps the Score. I will write the name of it in the comments for anyone that's interested. But it's the research there that shows you that trauma remains in the physical body. When it pops up into your mind and you consciously release it with intent, you know, when you are that prayer, you are that vehicle, you're actually also physically releasing it. There's a lot of different therapeutic models and different ways, shamanic ways do the same, where we can help people to release that trauma, but we're using the mind as the vehicle to do that. I hope that's making some sort of sense, and I'm not just waffling too much. I can sometimes dive into lots of sort of psychotherapy type stuff. I'm going to put that rune of breakthrough here, because this is the breakthrough moment. This is the release point. It's the point of saying, you know, we're letting go of this now. We have a conscious choice. You choose to live through your own heart center. This is an extraordinary time of opportunity for you, reading number 1. And your spirit team are really honoring this for you. Let's draw some tarot cards. Oh, your cards are so lively today, reading number 1. It is gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to draw from 2 different tarot packs. Let's see what we are shown. Take all 3 of those, and this one too, and this one as well. Okay, let's have a little look and see what we have. I'll put these to one side first. So you have 7 of Swords. Okay, amazing dragon there. You have the 10 of Swords. Okay, lovely. You have the Page of Swords. Oh, this is liberation. This reading is liberation and well, let's have a look and see. We'll look at all our cards first. Liberation, but I do think, yeah, it's liberation. Look, here we have the card of the Fool. It's liberation, new beginnings. And I want to say, reading number 1, This is like the beginning of, it's like the shift that occurs that allows you to welcome in something, I almost want to say something unexpected. The Snow Shepherdess is really interesting, but it's something that maybe you would once have not believed was possible. That's what this card is about. And here we have the Fool just sitting underneath here. We have the wheel turning, and there's so much abundance suggested in this reading. Oh wow. You have 7 of Wands. Oh, look at this release. And you have the Lovers. Okay. Right, let's just move these cards along the teensiest little bit so we can get them all in. Right. Right, Super Souls, reading number 1. Now this is a general reading, and so the actual circumstances, though these cards here may give us some more information about some of the actual circumstances around you this week. But this is a point of turn for you. It's a breakthrough moment. This is the point where, and what your spirit team are saying to you, look, you have empowerment in changing the course of what you are manifesting and in allowing something new that you want to come into your life, to welcome it in. It's something that you didn't believe possible. Now, whether this is just your peace of mind, or whether it is an actual event that then happens, because this can indicate an actual event that happens and you embrace it fearlessly. Either way, you have the ability to see the layer upon layer upon layer of of what is taking place within your own mind at the moment, which is really exciting. You literally can see it's like your demons. It's like you can, I almost feel like you guys, you know, I spoke about bullying, you know, being targeted, being bullied. It's like all the stabbing in the back that went on. It's kind of like you get to gather it all up and kind of decide that you're no longer going to hold on to it. I mean, this is the stuff, you see these tents in the background here. I don't know if you can just see this here. It's like camping in the woods, and this dragon gathering up the swords. In a way, what I'm seeing in this card, it's like letting go of defensiveness as well. Okay? You know, in a way, the swords were the element or the weapon of choice to protect this camp, and yet it's not needed anymore. The defensiveness isn't needed anymore. That's what this card is really saying to me. It's what your spirit team, I think, are communicating. The defensiveness is no longer needed. You were... bullied is just the, I'm just going to use that word. It's a general reading, but you'll know how that happened to you, whether it was in your younger days or whether it's in your adult life. I mean, a lot of bullying takes place. It is now time finally to release these swords, to let them go, to let go of the pain of that. If you need to cry, allow yourself to, Super Souls, because that's part of the release from the body. You may want to do a ceremony now. Excuse me. It's very interesting that now this is a timeless reading. I post these every single Sunday, but it is a timeless reading. And so whenever you have found this reading, and whenever you've come to it, if you found it in my Timeless Readings playlist, then the timing is right for you to be releasing. But I happen to be doing this reading at a point of the full moon. It's really interesting, and astrologically, as I am doing this reading, Pluto, the planet of rebirth and transformation, the planet that asks us to dig deep, dive into the shadows and transform, is literally moving from a retrograde position, which means it's been looking to us like it's going backwards. So we've been digging deep, diving deep, lots of stuff in our life being brought to the surface that we need to transform. Pluto stations direct, literally has just stationed direct and is about to move forwards along with the energy of this incredible full moon. I may have just said new moon, it's a full moon. A full moon is often a point of release. So that energy, you know, when you do a reading, literally the energy of intent within the reading, of all of the energy surrounding it, you know, the planetary support is embodied in the message of the reading and will come through to support you at any time that you are watching this reading, whenever you personally have found it. This is about liberation. I mean, look at the freedom here. We have the hawk, and it's very interesting. Page of Swords. The hawk is tamed. He's kind of wild, and yet he is also, he's wild, and yet, you know, this person, you'll call him a keeper, I guess, I'm not sure what you call the person who looks after birds of prey. They have a relationship. You know, this bird will be released and fly with freedom, but come back. You know, so it's like you are in charge. You know, you are now in charge of your own freedom, your own liberation, your own energy. And this brings new beginnings. And I love that this is like a leprechaun. This is new beginnings of good luck. The magic mushroom here, the magical fly agaric mushroom. He's smoking a pipe. You know, this is so shamanic, actually, even though it's a magical leprechaun. You know, with the foxglove. Foxglove is also hallucinogenic as a plant. Fly agaric is hallucinogenic. The pipe that's being smoked, you know, the prayers going up to Great Spirit, walking over the rainbow to find the pot of gold. This is this is one of the loveliest Fool cards I've seen, because it's about magical new beginnings. And sitting under the Snow Shepherdess, which is a card that says something you thought was not possible is about to emerge in your life. The wheel is turning, and this is a wheel of joy. It's a wheel of abundance. The hawk appears again. The feather, look here. Guidance, you know, you can cook. What are you going to put into your pot? What ingredients are you going to throw in terms of your energy and manifest, make it happen? You know, the hen is very much a symbol of fertility, the dog of loyalty, the hare of fertility again. This is a beautiful image of manifestation. And this is this for me is really interesting. It's like you shake off your demons. You are no longer bothered by them. That there is a liberation, a freedom, a shouting. It's like, you know, I'm here. You know, I will not be bothered by you ever again. You know, you no longer bother me. My world is free of the stuff that you landed in my direction, and I am free. It's absolutely, it feels like a week of energetic liberation and empowerment. And your team are literally saying to you, this is the moment when you take charge of this for yourselves. And this is the point of energy shift. This is the point where you make that change and the universe responds. I need to say with the card of the Lovers here, for those of you, this is a general reading, but for those of you for whom a relationship has caused you a problem in the past to the point where you were fearful of ever having another relationship, this is a turning point for you where you can let go of that retribution, you know, the stuff that held you back, I can never trust again, all those kinds of messages, and fearlessly move towards the future. And actually, for those of you who have been manifesting, this could well be a point where you actually do meet somebody. It won't be for everybody. For some, it will be actually that this shift is opening choices for you, because the card of the Lovers is fundamentally a card of choice. But for some of you, I am literally seeing, you know, partnership coming, perhaps love arriving in your world. Literally, if this is something you've been manifesting, you shift your energy, hold that energy, persevere. Your team are saying to you, persevere, hold your energy, don't get knocked off balance, don't be drawn into the stuff that pops up. Very clear advice for you. You literally leave something behind here. Something is left behind. Again, maybe people who stopped you from feeling that you could deserve love. It's a part. It becomes history. but you're the one that creates this shift. Okay, the universe, your team are with you, but you are the creator of this through your energy. Let's look at these cards and see what else we are shown. Well, look at our first card, Eagle, the Flyers, Totem of Pipes. What I love in this card, can you see there's also a hummingbird here? Joy. This is exactly this. It's this liberation and this move to joy, because you see the layers. You see the layers of what's been going on, and you're no longer bound by them. Coyote, the four-leggeds, loyalty. If some of you have been let down, this is a point where you re-find trust and loyalty. The wheel is turning, abundance, liberation from the fears. If you have just met someone, okay, you're just getting to know someone, or you're entering a new phase of relationship, this is a point where you can trust this person is loyal. You can risk being loyal. You can risk opening your heart. Yes, look at this, Apprentice of Arrows. And again, look here, this is the phoenix, like rising from the ashes here. Aim true, again, your intent. Hold your intent, be the prayer, live the prayer, hold the joy. Anything that pops up of the past, you lay it to rest, you move beyond it. Hold your focus, hold your energy. Beautiful, the Three of Pipes. This is the equivalent of the Three of Wands, and you know, this is a card of celebration. It's a point, again, it's a turning point where the new horizon is opening up for you. Exemplar of Stones, beautiful. This is like the Queen of Pentacles. Abundance, look at the abundance, the harvest. This is a card of harvest coming in. Okay, now this is a little prayer. I'm going to read this. It's a prayer that says, Great Spirit, Mother Creator, bless the earth through my life source of all nourishment. We seek to replenish your sacred world. Guide us now through these images, words and feelings within. As we reach into the wholeness, let all that is needed be known. This utterly ties in with this card of prayer. And look how at our top row of cards here, we have prayer, we have prayer. Super Souls, I'm going to hold this right up, really close here. I'm just going to get it so that you can see it. And I'm just going to pause here for just a moment, because you might want to press the pause button and just make a note of that. This is like a gift. This is a prayer for you to like carry with you. By the way, I do always put the names of the cards. They're all in the information box and the comments for phone users. You only need to scroll down and you'll find them. And I put them in the order that we're using them as well, so you can easily find them. But you might want to find that, write it down, keep it with you. This is also to help you. It's a gift, this prayer, to help you stay on track, to be the prayer, to live the prayer. Six of Stones. Oh, this feels so grounded and humble. Ace of Stones, we have this new beginning. I mean, this is like sifting for gold. And then this is new beginning. We then have Teaching Lodge of the Arrows. Well, I will just, and then we have Blend, Temperance. Ooh, I have to say, right, this feels, gosh, so powerful, this reading for you. I said at the beginning, reading number one, this was like a powerful reading, and it feels like a reading of empowerment for you. This is a week, right here and right now, within the overall energy, and whenever you are finding this, this is a point in time for you when you can see with a clarity and indeed do things through prayer, through embodiment of prayer. You can release the residue of stuff that's held you back. Hold your intent. This is a week when you can create a genuine shift. The learning is like coming to you. What you need to see, everything that you need to see will be shown to you. You are literally panning for gold, finding it, finding that magical point, that turning point, that crystal here coming in. Hold your intent. Everything is pointing to you. It's like what you put up comes back to you. Your energy, blend your energy, blend yourself, be that universal energy. This is such a clear message. Be the energy, be, we talk about being the change you wish to see. It's like literally in a very pragmatic, practical, down-to-earth way. Be what you want to bring in. Be the prayer. Hold the positivity. No retribution, no negativity, no negative thinking, no criticism, you or of others. Even if people are getting it wrong or behaving badly, you forgive, you kind of say, do you know what, you're on your own pathway. I will firmly say no and choose to keep my energy intact. And in the embodiment of that, this is a significant turning point for you. And something unexpected, either a doorway is going to open that will lead you in exactly the direction for that to then arrive and for the choices to be made available for you to take that forward, or it's already going to arrive. It's literally, it will arrive this week. It could be either or. It's a general reading. For some of you, it's arriving. Something you've really wanted that you thought was not possible. For others, it is literally, there will be openings, choices made available to you that will create that opening and that pathway to something that you actually didn't think or believe would be possible. Reading number 1, this is a powerful week for you guys. I am utterly rooting for you to become the creator of your own reality. It just feels so powerful and so empowering. I'm really honoured to be reading for you. Thank you for joining me. These are our weekly readings, but they are timeless. As I've said, there is a timeless readings playlist. Again, I'll put all the links to all sorts of stuff that is hopefully helpful to you, including the cards. Just scroll down. There's lots of links to things that I do and put into the world. If you subscribe and press the little bell icon, you should get notification of any of my readings, whether it is the Sunday readings every week, whether it's the moon forecast for the month ahead, which is all about manifesting, whether it is the spontaneous readings that I post. I usually post a couple every week. Do check in on those, and Super Souls, just have a most empowered week. This is literally magical opportunity of new beginnings for you that you did not believe were possible. Super Souls, I'm sending you all the love in the world. Thank you so much for your likes, shares and comments. Do watch out for scammers. I have to throw that one in. I've put it in the information box for you as well, because there's been a lot of this kind of stuff going on tarot channels. Thank you to those of you who give back through the super thanks and support the channel in that way. And thank you all of you who are supporting the channel through Patreon. Tons and tons and tons of love to you. Reading number 2, welcome. You have been guided into this reading by these 2 beautiful swans. I sort of feel like there's collaboration around you, partnership maybe, fertility, the rune of fertility, and sea creatures, which is also a card of immersion. This is a card of action, reading number 2. It's like immerse yourself in something and go for it. This is what this card really says. This is a rune of fertility. It requires completion of beginnings sometimes, so there may be something that you're needing to bring to a point of completion that I think will bring you a great deal of happiness and reward. But let's draw more cards before we dive in and really look at what your spirit team wants you to connect with and know about right here and right now. And yeah, in the next 7 days, what would they like you to be aware of for the next 7 days? What's taking place? I see this card here. draw oracle cards first, and then we will draw from a couple of different tarot packs as well. So let's have a look and see what we have here. We have the flame. Oh wow, I mean, look at this. Channel your energy. Hold your intent, channel your energy, immerse yourself. Whatever you are working on, reading number 2, really, really hold fast. New beginnings, persevere. This is interesting. This card came out in reading 1. No, it's different reading, but yes, new beginnings. This card indicates that you are about to begin a new chapter of your life. Shed, release and cleanse. Let go of any obstacles, inner or outer, that prevent you from fully engaging in moving forwards. The time is right for a fresh start and a new beginning. The universe supports your growth. And persevere. This is really about, you know, I'll just read it to you. Who would have thought that a humble acorn could grow into a mighty oak tree? But of course it takes time. Whatever you are involved in, this card brings a message of reassurance. Your hard work and continued effort and dedication will come to fruition. You are asked to persevere and trust. Right, you are being asked. I do apologise. I'm so sorry. I spend my life apologising in my readings. Thank you so much, all of you, for those of you that follow my readings and know that I had COVID, and thank you for your suggestions. I hope you can really hear the improvement in my voice. I have been taking oregano tea and following the advice that you guys have been putting into the comments. I really thank you for your love and support, and I hope you can really hear a difference in my voice. It is definitely fast improving, so I really thank you all. I mean, what an amazingly wonderful community you know, we are, and you guys are. It's a gift to be here, so thank you. And yes, you'll have picked up, if you're new to my my readings, that I had COVID, but yeah, people have been amazing. So immerse yourself. Super souls, you're doing something, you're working on something at the moment, you have an idea, you have a there's something of potential around you, and it really has a lot. I mean, it's loaded with potential. It's moving your life forwards. Whatever it is that you are working on, manifesting, bringing it forth. This is a time this week, right here, right now. That's what these readings are for. It's weekly guidance. What do you need to know right now? And in the next 7 days, you know, sometimes a reading will say slow down, ease off. This is saying the opposite. It's saying go for it. Be really focused, be really targeted, be diligent, persevere, keep going, don't stop, hold your focus, hold your vision. This is going to move forwards. This is going to bring in the harvest. You need to persevere and stay on track. This is a week that's really, the energy, the information is really clear for you already. Reading number 2. I love this. We have Daughters of the Red Tent, and we also have Blue Mother, Yellow Mountain, Gibbous Moon. Now, a gibbous moon is when the moon is ultimately basically getting bigger. I mean, if it's a gibbous, well, it depends on whether we're moving towards a full moon or after a full moon. But if it's a waxing gibbous moon, it comes after the first quarter, and the moon is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So the waxing the waxing gibbous moon is the moon that comes that builds to the fullest, and then the waning gibbous is when the moon diminishes. But it's a point in terms of doing stuff. The gibbous moon is a point when there is energy available in a build up where we're building, and then in being consistent, in being in still harnessing that energy. If I sometimes, when I do moon updates, so super souls, if you want to get notification of any of those, they're all about manifestation, and I do a monthly moon update now where we look at the phases of the moon and what that means in manifestation. You know, the sign that the moon is in, and how the overall energy is affecting our manifestations. But when we're moving, so yeah, I was going to say subscribe and press the little bell icon if you want to get notification as soon as I post those. But this for manifestation is a phase of doing. If you liken it to like a car journey, You know, if you're at the parking, let's say a new moon, you're at the park, you're in the parking lot, you get in your car, you set your GPS or whatever, you look at the map, you know where you're going. You've then, the crescent moon is then when we're pulling out of the parking lot, the waxing crescent, and we're getting going. When you get to the first quarter, we're evaluating. There's an opportunity to see if there's anything in the way that we need to remove or what we need to attend to. Then we're on the get-go. We are accelerating, the energy is gathering momentum. That's what this card is about. Gathering momentum, it's happening. We then reach the fullest. And at that point, if there's anything we need to let go of or complete in order to move to the next stage, we do so. And then as the waning into the waning gibbous moon, it's kind of like if you're on the motorway, you've reached that point of your highest speed, and then you can begin to kind of coast a little bit. Okay, so we're utilizing that energy to keep going, to persevere. We've got momentum. And then as we move towards the last quarter, we're then slowing down a little bit and beginning to move into a more reflective space. But ultimately, and I guess this has been a bit long-winded, I apologize, but if you're into manifesting with the moon, which I am with a passion because it's totally changed my world, I hope it will be of interest to you. So that's what this card is all about, and this is a turning point. So it's a point of manifestation. Let me see, can we get both cards in? Yay, we can. We can see both cards right there. Great. Let's now draw some tarot cards. So let's see what the tarot cards are showing for reading number 2. We would like guidance about this. Yeah, it feels like a turning point, an entry point to a new life, new beginnings. So whatever you're working at, it's bringing new beginnings. It's and perseverance is required. That's really what we're shown here very clearly. I'm going to draw from 2 different packs today. There we go. I think what we'll do is put these to one side and look at these first. Okay, so we have 4 of Pentacles. This is really interesting. 5 of Pentacles. We have Knight of Swords. Two of Wands. Queen of Swords. Page of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, and the 8 of Pentacles. Let's see if we can move the cards around a tiny bit, just so that we can get everything into your view here. Okay, this is really interesting. So I think reading number 2, at this point, this turning point in your life this week, and there is a turning point. Let's put these up here actually. It's really funny, this 8 of Pentacles is finding it's not quite sure where it wants to sit. Okay, so I'm just going to actually put it to one side for one moment, and I'm going to actually sit it with these cards here, and we'll look at them in a minute. Right. What I'm seeing this week you're needing to tread carefully. Right, be diligent. You're working at something, and the energy here is really amazing. It's like immerse yourself in something. Do it, bring it forth. Ride that energy, bring it on, persevere. There's an opportunity for new beginnings. What I want to say to you really clearly, reading number 2, is don't rush. Use this gibbous moon kind of flavour, this energy, to navigate something, whatever you, excuse me, whatever you are bringing forth, whatever you're working on something and you're working very hard. The information is, work at it really carefully. You know, don't be a bull in a china shop. Tread carefully. The pathway here, you know, is the pathway forwards is perseverance. Immerse yourself in what you want to create. Hold your intent. The energy is completely with you to bring something forwards, okay? Really, really with you, and for you to actually receive something. So it's a general reading, but you are really being advised by your spirit team. Whilst you're being advised to definitely keep going, you're absolutely being advised to tread very, very carefully at the same time. Pay attention to the details. Be observant. Don't miss something. There's a danger that you could oversee something or miss an opportunity, or you know, we have him here, we have, you know, Four of Pentacles. He has a blindfold on, and yet here is this magical, these wonderful flowers here with pentacles in the middle. It's like there's gold dust sitting right in front of you. It's almost as if there's something around that you could be so busy dreaming of the outcome that you want that you miss the opportunity that's right in front of you. You do need to persevere. This is a week of immersing yourself in doing, but tread carefully. Take it step by step. Be very conscious. Imagine that your whole week is about stepping from, you need to step through these beautiful, into these beautiful hoops, because they are guiding you to exactly the new beginning that you want. Okay, you're being guided to the new beginning, but don't be a bull in a china shop. Don't be impulsive. Think before you speak. New beginnings are coming. We have the energy of stork here. There are 3 storks here. Storks herald birthing, new beginning, new beginnings, new opportunities. Storks, herons. Very clear advice for you, reading number 2. Immerse yourself, work diligently, persevere, don't lose sight of what you want in any way, shape or form. I mean, this is fertility. You know, this is a fruit-bearing room. We have the swans, the love, the joy that you're seeking, the contentment, the happiness, the long-term happiness as well. This is speaking of swans mate for life. But don't rush forwards. Don't be a bull in a china shop. You need to tread your way through something carefully here, because this is an important period of transition. The universe is supporting your transition. The universe is supporting your new pathway. The energy of fox we have here. Foxes are quite, they're tenacious, they're wise, they're canny. We have the owl in the tree here. I wasn't sure where to place this card. But like this is, he has a little, can you see this elf here has a little hammer in his hand. He's a worker. And we have a baby, a baby rabbit here. This is like there's something, it's like take baby steps this week. Don't go full throttle into something. The energy is about, it's really fascinating. The energy for you guys is about full steam ahead, but you need to harness that. It's like a locomotion. You know, it's like a locomotion, and you need to, you know, if you think about it, it's like the difference between a runaway train where it's going far too fast and the energy isn't being harnessed well. And if you use all the energy of a train and then you meet a big steep hill, it won't have the energy to get up the hill. There won't be enough steam. So it's pacing yourself. This is a week of absolute doing for you. It's really clear. You are working on the transition to a space of significant new beginnings. You do need to persevere, you do need to work, you do need to immerse yourself, hold your vision, but tread carefully, because there is a danger that you could, in ploughing ahead or reacting to something too quickly, you could actually miss a golden opportunity that is right in front of you. So busy dreaming about the future that you lose sight of what's right in front of your very nose. Okay, so be thoughtful of that. Reading number 2, this very clear advice from your spirit team this week. 2 of Wands, the new beginning is coming. Absolutely coming, with these 2 cards sitting here and the Queen of Swords. Hold your vision, but don't be too, hold your vision with a clarity of mind, but don't be too frosty about it either. Again, there's a real balance. It's like a balancing act for you guys this week between holding your vision, being logical about what you want rather than emotionally charging ahead, and be an observer of what's going on around you. This is going to emerge. We then have this beautiful, with this transition card. You know, Daughters of the Red Tent is a transition, but it speaks of the vulnerability of our situation within transition. Page of Pentacles, this is suggesting that what you hope is going to come to you. It will manifest. But, you know, the 5 of Wands is a card of challenge. It's like there's something that has to be navigated to get there. And everything here is speaking of navigating thoughtfully, mindfully. You know, it will come, there's no question. Immerse yourself, you know, it will come to you. The pathway will be shown. But I think there is an opportunity potentially that could be part of your, whatever it is you're aiming for, whatever it is you're creating, doing, wanting, manifesting. I think there may be an opportunity that will be around you or shown to you, and you could miss it if you're too, you know, ploughing ahead too fast. Let's have a look. So we have Apprentice of Arrows, your cards here. Place these here, look. We have the card of Blend, which is Temperance. Yeah, keep yourself balanced, okay? This is interesting. When I put the cards back into every pack, I put them in all sorts of different spots through the pack and then shuffle before we move from one reading to another. And yet these 3 cards all came out in reading 1. How interesting. In fact, so did Coyote as well. Right, well, let's look at what we are shown here for you right here and right now. Apprentice of Arrows, Temperance, 6 of Stones. Very clear for you, and Apprentice of Stones. Okay, we'll look at these 4 cards first, then we'll come to these. Hold your aim straight and true. This is like can you see the phoenix rising from the ashes? Now, something needs to be completed around you or sorted or come to its natural end rather than you pushing for it to complete. This is a time of working, persevering, completion of something, but it needs to come to its natural completion. Something will emerge. This is about you immersing yourself in what you need to do, holding the vision of new beginnings, and be methodical and steady. It's going to happen. The transition is happening around you, but there is a need to be thoughtful about how you approach it. Be diligent. If you don't cross the T's and dot the I's, you might miss something, or you could even miss an opportunity. So be balanced in your approach here. Now, you're going to have to sift through a few different potentials here to find the harvest. This is somebody sifting for gold. Now, there is gold coming to you. So the vision, the dream, the thing that you're aiming for, that you desire above and beyond anything, is going to be made available to you. It is coming. All roads lead to Rome here. But you need to sift through a few different possibilities in order to strike gold. Okay, and for the harvest to come in. And I think those possibilities, some of those potential possibilities, are actually around you. And the danger of being so focused on the dream time is that you don't see how these possibilities could integrate into your future plans. So this is a very interesting week for you, reading number 2, where you immerse yourself in the doing and the being and the happening and making it happen, whilst being very observant of everything that's around you. It's like be a doer and an observer at the same time. Yes, 8 of Arrows, look, a gift. 8 of Arrows, 8 of Pentacles sitting with 8 of Arrows. Yeah, someone's going to give you something. I think something's going to come to you this week, reading number 2. It could be a communication, a piece of information. I'm going to throw the astrology dice. May we ask something more of this, please? Right. I do apologise. I spend my life apologising at the moment for my cough, my post-COVID cough. Right, you have Saturn in Gemini. Really, really important information. Right, something's going to be given to you this week. It's a gift. Because it's a bow and arrow, it's actually something that's going to help to show you the direction you need to go in to achieve the desire, the goal that you want. Saturn is father timing, father karma. Gemini, the energy of Gemini, we get to see everything from all sides. Gemini gives us Gemini brings creative solutions and an opportunity to see things from every angle. Right, this week, be diligent, work hard. Saturn's a real working hard. Look at your limitations right here and right now, because when you validate your limitations, bizarrely, doorways open for you. When you look at the limitations of now and you just immerse yourself in the everydayness of what you need to do, doorways of possibility that take you beyond your limits and into your wildest dreams then start to open. You're going to be given something this week that's going to show you some aspect of a direction. So be sure not to miss it. It's helpful to you, really helpful. Coyote, 4-leggeds, and the 3 of Pipes. Really beautiful energy coming in here with these cards for this week. There's a loyalty here. Coyote, the 4-leggeds, are beautiful 4-legged creatures, our animal friends. They're loyal to us. Our pets are loyal to us. There's something of a loyalty that has a reference point to you this week. Now, you may be aware of it already, or it may be something that comes to you during the week. But for some of you, and it's a general reading, so this will apply to some but not all, but this is a right here, right now guidance from Spirit. And for the next 7 days, there's an aspect of loyalty that is relative to a new horizon opening for you. So there's something about a commitment, a loyalty that is going to, and somebody's going to give you something that will help you to see how this plays out in your pathway forwards. Be sure not to miss whatever it is that you're being shown by being, we can be so focused on the end goal sometimes that we miss. We don't stop and smell the flowers, really. Tread carefully, take it steady, but work hard, immerse yourself. This is, for me, I think, looking to be an exciting week for you, reading number 2. It is exciting in that it is, you may not see the exact end result, but it's taking you through a week where you get to see the real potential of something that will lead to abundance, to fertility, to the fruition of your longer term committed happiness and contentment, your longer term dream, your longer term vision. Something will become clear to you this week. You'll be given something, a piece of information perhaps, that helps you to see things from all sides or to know where you're going. It does feel like a more career, work, creative project orientated reading than relationship. I will say that. So a more work orientated week, reading number 2. But it's a powerful week, a powerful week, and we're seeing so much abundance promised, but you are in a space of transition, and it's navigating this progression, like up to the full moon and down to the full moon, this heightened energy with mindfulness, grace, awareness, holding the intent of your end goal. whilst also being absolutely present to what is around you and opportunities and information that are being shown to you. So you process, you sift through that information. Yeah, there's everything here is saying don't be the bull in the china shop, but it's also, we are also being given the promise of what you want, which is super fab. Super souls, this has been such an interesting reading. If you'd like to get a notification of any of my readings, including my moon stuff, subscribe, press the little bell icon. They should come into your stream. I will put all the relevant links that I can think of that might be useful to you, including the these are timeless readings. You can tune into them at any time, I know. Thank you so much to those of you that follow them every week. But, you know, if you're new to me and my readings, I post these. I post lots of spontaneous readings, at least 2 a week usually, sometimes more. The moon updates, all kinds of stuff. I have a timeless readings playlist where you can always find a reading. If you're having a wobble, you'll always be able to find a reading that hopefully is answering the questions that you need to support you or give you the guidance you need at any time. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for all of you who give back through the super thanks, and thank you for also those of you who are supporting me and all of the work I do through Patreon. Wonderful reading number 2. Have an amazingly productive and very successful week. You may not reach your end goal, but I think you'll know potentially, a lot of guidance here for you today. I think you'll know potentially what your next step might be, or certainly what your options realistically, the Saturn energy realistically are by the end of the week. Super souls, tons of love. Reading number 3, welcome. You have been guided to this reading by the card of offerings. We have a little girl here, a child, a figure of a child, and we have the rune of gateway. And this is very interesting because it did come out in reverse. Now, I very rarely read cards and runes in reverse. I always feel I'm given the information I need, even the shadow aspects, regardless of whether, you know, with the cards in an upright position. But I felt very strongly to keep it in reverse. Now, what the connection between this rune and this card are very interesting, because offerings is about gratitude. The rune of gateway is also very much connected to gratitude. So I'm not going to say any more just yet. I think what I'm going to do is place this card up here, and we will draw oracle cards first to see what we're shown. So we are asking for guidance right here and right now for reading number 3 and for the next 7 days. What do your spirit team want you to actually be aware of right now and for the next 7 days? Seeing this card here. Let's have a look at these cards first, and then we'll draw from a tarot pack too. So we have 22. This is the card number 22, Desert Harvest. Okay, this is very interesting. And this offerings, wealth is a card, also ultimately gratitude, abundance, but harvest. Okay, we have Sacred Sherpa guides you beyond. There's a stepping stone to climb over here in some way, shape or form. Okay, learn to say no and difficult emotions. And we have the tear. This is very interesting. Reading number 3. Okay, right. Let's just pause and really just have a real think about this reading. You are being asked unquestionably to center yourself in a space of gratitude for everything that has happened to you, even some things that are not terribly good. Okay, now that's going to sound, I hope, bear with me on this, please, bear with me on this. It's almost like, so in this card, I'm just going to move this beautiful little child here. In this card, we have these kind of droplets coming down, and I almost feel like they're tears. It's almost like something has happened in your world, or something maybe is going on at the moment. Reading number 3, something's going on that is causing you distress. It's heartbreaking, it's saddening, maybe somebody around you is unwell, or someone that you love and care about is unhappy, or, you know, something is going on around you that is really, it's making you cry. It's upsetting you, it's causing your heart to hurt. Okay. What is also happening though, that it's pushing you back. This is what I'm seeing. I mean, I have to voice this as I see it, reading number 3. It's pushing you back into, oh, excuse me, please. Somebody is ringing my doorbell and I must press the pause button. Super Souls, this is so interesting. My apologies firstly for that interruption. It was just the post arriving, and actually look what has arrived, a new pack of cards. No doubt you'll see these in some new readings as I upload them. But isn't it interesting that they are called the Tarot of Oppositions? Okay, now I'm just going to put those to one side. We'll not be using them. There's much to do to connect with these cards before I bring them into our readings here. But something has interrupted your world. You know, everything that happens in a reading for me is really speaking to me about something unexpected has showed up, something has caused you. It feels like you've entered a desert. Now you're being guided here, okay? You are being guided through this. There is so much help and support around you. For some of you, maybe you've been drawn into something. For others, it is just, I'll talk a little bit more and we'll draw cards to find out more about what may be going on for you each. But what I do see here is this has left you with very difficult emotions. You know, it's raising difficult emotions, whether it is sadness, unhappiness, it's raising challenging emotions. I think it's possibly pushing you as well into some aspect of your child self too. Or indeed it may just be that there are children involved. Maybe one of your children is not okay, and it's you know, that is really, really difficult. If you have children, you know, you want your children to be happy and okay all of the time, and it's immensely distressing when they're not, and we can't always fix things for our children either. You know, we simply can't. So but there's something here, excuse me, I think I've apologised in every reading for my cough. It's my post-COVID cough. I am perfectly okay, and I'm so grateful to all of you as well for sending me and posting in the comments your wonderful remedies and your love and your light and your healing prayers. Thank you all. What a wonderful community this is. It's an honour to read for you. And I am following through with your remedies, and I hope you can hear the improvement in my voice for those of you that follow my readings. Right, this is why this is in reverse though. Let me get back to your reading. It's almost like this situation is stopping you from being able to see. It's almost like it's shrouding you from seeing the good that is around you. It's throwing you into a place that's feeling like it's quite arid. There's a lot going on. There are difficult emotions. Something is distressing, and it's interrupted your world in some way, shape or form. It's raising difficult emotions. Now this for me is really interesting. Learn to say no. Saying no is an act of love. When we say a healthy no to an abusive situation, whether this is in response to another person or to ourselves, we are setting limits and establishing healthy boundaries. A healthy no is saying yes to life. Give yourself permission to say no. Okay, so somewhere amidst the turmoil of, or the unhappiness, the concern, even just whatever it is that has suddenly landed in your world and is causing you to feel unhappy or not okay, you're needing to place some boundaries around yourself in some way, shape or form. It may be that you've been drawn into something. It may be that what's happening means that you've overstepped a boundary in some way. It may be that you're giving too much, you're burning out here. But there is an issue of boundaries around your situation. It's a general reading. And what I do see, I mean, it may be that buttons are pressed. It could, as I said, it could be that family are involved, some connection to to your inner child. Some, you know, it could be a child of yours. You know, there could just be family stuff going on around you, but there's something taking place here. The Rune of Gateway. I actually think, you see, the Rune of Gateway in its upright position, and it is so interesting that I really felt so strongly to keep it in the reverse. In its upright position, the Rune of Gateway asks you to metaphorically climb to the top of a mountain, look back over everything that has ever led you to where you are right here, right now, today, and give thanks for everything, even the rubbish stuff, because that's where we learn the most. You give thanks for the learning, the growth. It doesn't mean if something happened that wasn't okay that it's okay. That's clear. But you give thanks for the learning, and because you're then centered energetically in your own space of gratitude, you can step through the gateway afresh. I feel like this has put a pause on your life for the moment, because we're seeing this card here. We're seeing this card. There's a like a stumbling block, an interruption, like the interruption we just had. There's an interruption, and there may be some. We've got the Tarot of Oppositions arriving, the new pack that we won't be using, but we are using them with the blessing of what they bring. Even this imagery on this card, or on the box of these cards, is actually, I feel, helping us. Okay. It's showing you, be thoughtful, be mindful, press a pause button. Don't overdo it. Don't overstretch yourself. I feel like there's possibly something here that you can't actually fundamentally fix yourself. But you're drawn into it, you're a part of it, you're involved for whatever reason. Take time, say no to the busyness of your mind. You know, if you only give yourself like 1 minute pause breaks, or a 10-minute power sleep, or there's something about be settled, because this is pulling you in different directions. You may even find your loyalties are pulled in more than one direction. You may find you feel like you need to be in more than one place at the same time. There's an opposition of energies, a desire for something but you can't fix it, or there's just a real push and pull. And actually what I'm going to do with these cards, actually, and I'm just going to place them here so we have that image here, because I believe I really feel this very strongly has brought in a message for your reading number 3. So we'll just leave it there. Just as an acknowledgement and a reminder, even though we haven't fully blessed these cards or brought them, even opened the pack yet, but we are just thanking them. Again, isn't it interesting? Gratitude, prayer, gifts arriving, wealth, offerings. Knowing that things come in to help and support you. Sacred Sherpa guides you beyond. There will be things coming in to help and support you through this period, and it has interrupted you. It's been an interruption. There's the push-pull. Okay, let's draw tarot cards. May we please ask about information right here, right now? I mean, I think we have a right here, right now appraisal, but may we ask for guidance for the coming week? What does reading number 3 need to know about, really? What guidance can be given? Quite a lot of cards coming through for you guys. We'll draw from 2 different tarot packs. Okay. That's what we will be doing. Yeah. Okay. What I'll do, Super Souls, is I'm just going to place these to one side. In fact, I'll just place them on here for a moment. Let's have a look and see what we have here. Let's move this card along. Okay, so you have King of Swords is your first card. You have 9 of Cups. You have 3 of Swords. You have 8 of Swords. You have 9 of Swords. You have 2 of Pentacles. And here we have a labyrinth here. Just bringing these. I'm going to throw the astrology dice for you too in a moment. 2 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles, lovely. So we're seeing movement forwards here for you. Okay. And then we have Knight of Swords and Knight of 2 Knights. Wow. Okay, this is very significant. 2 Knights coming in. Okay, I'm going to put those just there for one moment. I'm going to throw the astrology dice and we're going to look at these cards first. Okay, reading number 3, definitely. Right. Okay, so you have the North Node in Gemini. Okay, so there's something taking place here that feels like it's a, I don't know, destiny, fate, karmic sort of happening of some sort. It's whatever's happening, it's a bit like that rune of gateway. When we cast our mind back, it's sort of this sort of has to happen actually, and I'm so sorry, because I can see that it's really causing you kind of just a lot of grief, a lot of heartache. It's really feeling so very sad, and you know, and I really see that. Now, interestingly enough, this reading is really saying to you, look, this is quite interesting, because I feel that what you're being offered guidance as how to approach this situation. You are needing to be quite firm and take almost like a leadership role in this. And yet simultaneously you need to nurture at the same time. You know, it's like that balance, that the navigation of this situation will benefit from the balance of both the leadership qualities of the divine masculine that we all have within us each, irrespective of our gender or sexual orientation. Also the the feminine qualities of nurture. You know, simultaneously nurture, love, the divine feminine that sits within us each, irrespective of gender and sexual orientation. I feel this is something that you have to see through to its completion. Okay, that's really quite clear. There will be guidance and help along the way. You will be shown things, and you'll gain insight from this situation. Actually, what is really interesting here, 8 of Swords, you will gain, not only will you be shown the steps you need to take to navigate through this, but you will gain insight, and yeah, you'll gain insight from this situation, and you'll definitely be shown the steps you need to take. Now, in terms of saying no, you know, I said to you about taking power naps, and because I can see this has to, there's a timing around this as well. It has to actually run its course. It's kind of like the birth of something, you know, it's like a pregnancy. It has to run its course, and the point of birth is the point of change. So it actually has to run its course. It has to meet its point of completion. This situation will come to an end, actually, and you will be shown, I mean, you are being guided through this. You really, really are. You're being guided. You're being divinely guided through this. So please open your heart to feeling gratitude for that divine guidance, because you are being supported. The 9 of Swords, Take time to rest. Don't let this, don't persecute yourself. Take time to rest. You know, for some of you, the saying no is also saying no to internal negative criticism, where you are responding to challenging emotions by being self-critical and judging yourself and feeling like you should or could do more. And for those of you for whom that applies, it won't be everybody, but for those that it does, you can't do any more, and you're being asked to actually say a very firm no to yourself and not put yourself through that. This is going to emerge. You're going to find your way through this, and balance will be restored. We have the labyrinth here. You will find your way through this. Okay, the outcome will emerge. It will happen. There'll be a release. There'll be a shift, a release. It's like a celebration in a sense, but a release. It is coming. That is coming. This has to run its course, and it is coming. Now, this is a reading for weekly guidance, but I can't help feeling for some of you, what you're being shown here is, I mean, these are readings that are about right here, right now, and the next 7 days. What I do want to say is, I do think for some of you, I don't know if the release will come within the next 7 days. It might, but it might not. What you might find is that the release, I think there will be some sort of a release and a completion. It may not be for the whole situation, but I think it's almost like the cavalry coming in to support you. You know, we have Knight of Swords, Knight of Cups. So taking it, excuse me, step by step, with love, with honour. I mean, knights bring a very solid, real, genuine energy. So this is a situation that for some of you will reach, it's going to find a completion and a point of release of something. If it doesn't reach its final release, what will happen is that resources or people, help basically, is going to arrive and sort of and take over. You know, it's like, you know, when the right stuff, the right person shows up at the right time, the right people show up at the right time, the right energy arrives at the right time to allow something to be navigated and brought back into some kind of balance. And that's what we're seeing this week for you. I am so sorry that this is going on, that this interruption is taking place. It's really challenging, and I can see that. So let's have a look at the additional cards that we drew. We have the Three of Stones. Okay, so this is really interesting. So again, we're seeing a gift being brought in here, something that's going to assist, replenish is what's coming through here. Again, renewed energy. I said somebody will come along and help. The right help arrives at the right time. Yeah, absolutely. So I think what you're going to see, reading number 3 this week, is somebody come along and give you something that will, it's the right resources at the right time. 4 of Arrows. Yeah, it's going to bring a significantly creative solution. Can you see there's like a little spirit owl in the background here? It's going to bring you what you need to see. For some of you, it will be a piece of information. Gemini brings information, communication. For some, it will be real resources. 3 of Stones, the Stones of Pentacles. But it could be energy, resources, information. But something's going to come that will allow you to creatively move this situation forwards. Yeah, 10 of Arrows, 4 of Arrows, 10 of Arrows. I'm seeing community, family coming together, guidance, advice, support, the team that you need coming together, pulling together, really pulling together on this one. Just what you need, just what you need to shift this forwards. We have 7 of Pipes. We have Apprentice of Arrows. And your last card, Apprentice of Bowls. So the fact that we have 2 knights and then the apprentice is like, they're like the equivalent of the page. So we have 2 pages here. Arrows are swords, bowls are cups. Now this is, can you see here, we have like, this card has come out in almost every reading this week, I think. We see the phoenix rising from the ashes, holding course, and the apprentice of bowls being guided, supported, loved, cared about. This is going to, this situation will find, what I think you'll find is it's going to level out this week. Whether that's because it comes to a completion, or whether it's because the resources come and the support is there, and the information, the energy, the time, the resources come to help you. You know, again, offerings. Although this card asks us to sit in a space of gratitude, I actually think you're being asked to receive here. Again, you don't have to do it all yourself. You don't have to be stretching yourself or feeling like you're the only one that can handle it. Resources, this is a reading of collaboration, resources coming to you, energy coming to you, people coming to you, the right stuff at the right time. And I think this will level out. The pages as an energy are a turning point in some way, shape or form. It's almost developmentally, it's that point when we launch from childhood into adulthood. Again, I see you coming back into balance here. If this situation has tapped into your own inner child, this will level you back out into your adult self again. So stuff is going to come, is going to level out. You're going to begin to be able to have a sense of where this is going, and also to feel supported within that. Okay, so there's going to be a shift in the overall flow of energy this week for you. I am really sorry, reading number 3, I have to say it how it is, and you know, I am seeing a situation that feels challenging, it feels distressing, it feels difficult, it taps into your inner child, it could connect to family, but I am seeing that the learning to say no, whether that's to your own internal patterns where you could, you know, end up dramatizing it more because of those internal feelings, or whether you're drawn into other people's you know, overflowing emotions, you know, whatever it is, you know, the right help will arrive. It will come in steady but surely. The whole situation, I think this week, will even out and level out for you. And your role is looking after yourself, saying no to difficult, you know, not saying no to difficult emotions, but saying no to burning out, saying no to feeling like you're on your own with this. And yeah, saying there's definitely boundaries around this that need to be in place that will help you, because, you know, it's really, really true, isn't it? If you are, it's like, you know, a glass of water. I have my glass of water here for my post-COVID cough. But, you know, if you, with your glass of water, are constantly filling everybody else's glasses up, you will run out. You need to fill up your own glass as well. Very clear message here for you, super souls. And I can see what an interruption this has been for you. I am sending you the biggest hug in the world, and I'm really sorry this has happened. It does feel a bit like the timing of it is fate, destiny, there's karmic stuff going on. It sort of had to happen, really. But the help is arriving, is really what we're seeing here, which feels super good. Super, super good. Communications will come in that are going to assist this, energy, resources. So this whole situation is going to improve. You know, there's that stumbling block to step over, but you're not alone with this. And things are going to, yeah, I do feel like help is on its way. Super souls, if this reading is really speaking to you, I am sending you the biggest hug in the world. Thank you for joining me for today. I need to just say to you, the most beautiful feather literally has just floated down in front of my window, and there isn't a bird in sight, which is interesting. It's very still actually outside, sitting looking out of my window, which is very, very still. There's quite a reverence around you, thought, care, love, regard, and that feather just landing. It's a white feather, just landing peacefully, gently, allowing things to just settle. Super souls, I post these readings every Sunday, so if you'd like to get notification of these Sunday readings for weekly guidance, or any of my readings, I mean, this is also a timeless reading. You can tune in with these and find the right reading for you at any time. I have a timeless readings playlist. I post Manifest with the Moon, a monthly Manifest with the Moon video, which will tell you all about the moon cycles, what's happening right here and right now, how to lean into that energy to assist you with navigating your month. And I will put all the relevant links to anything and everything I do, including the Timeless Readings playlist, in the information box below. I give away a free private reading every month, and a pack of these Art of Manifestation cards as well, a first signed limited edition. That's a subscriber offer. I will put the link to join my subscriber email list in the information box and the comments too. I've listed all the cards in the order I've used them as well, in case anybody is wanting to tune in with those. So super souls, I'm sending you the biggest hug. Thank you for liking, sharing and subscribing. Thank you to those of you who give back through the super thanks in the comments. And also thank you all of you who are also supporting my work ongoing through Patreon, and I hope you're enjoying the tutorials there. I do, for those of you who are new to me and my channel and my work, for the people who are connected to me through Patreon, I upload a monthly tutorial all about learning to read the cards and the runes. Super souls, have a week of steady self-care. Please remember as well, self-care is not an act of selfishness, it is an act of consciousness. If this was a one-off reading, that would be the title. Self-care is not an act of selfishness, it's an act of consciousness. Reading number 3, I'm sending you all the love in the world.